Hi beautiful people, welcome back to A Beautiful Life. So today's video is going to be kind of an updated version of something I did almost 5 years ago on my channel, which is kind of a behind the scenes look at A Beautiful Life and the process of making my videos and all my social media things. I thought it would be a good time to do an updated version of that because I do have quite a bit more followers than I did at that time, and I've also started making Instagram reels, which I didn't do back then. So today will be a new behind the scenes. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so obviously the main location for filming my videos would of course be my bedroom here. And for filming anything, whether it's a reel or a YouTube video, I only use my iPhone. That's all I've ever used, and this right now is an iPhone SE, the latest version of the SE. And when possible, I like to rely on the natural light from those windows, but that's not always possible, so I do have my Beatles lamp that I use, and then there's some designated areas in my room that have good lighting. So I have my Beatles lamp right here, and this would be my little kind of tripod device that I use. This is a freebie my mom got from somewhere actually that she just gave to me. You could move it up and down like this. Your phone would obviously sit right there, and it can also tilt upwards like this. So say if I'm doing like a craft project, like if you watched my little short video where I make Beatles buttons recently, I have it tilted like this so it can look down at the table. So I'll get to my Instagram Reels things shortly in this video, but I wanted to just show when I'm editing a YouTube video, I use this app, which is just iMovie, which is probably the most basic editing app there is. So I have my little intro here. I'll show you the app that I use to make that in a second, and I always put that at the beginning, and I add in a sound effect for that every time. So I would go over here to audio, and it's under sound effects, and it's called Guitar Chord Major. So I always add that in at the beginning, and I like to turn the volume down a little bit on that. I find if it's at 100% it's a little too loud, so I usually put it around 60%. And then I'll just find the place in the video where I start talking, and I'll cut it off at the right place. So I use split and then get rid of that beginning part. So then I'll cut that off and it'll fade like this. Hi beautiful people, welcome back to A Beautiful Life. So I'll show you quickly what I use for my thumbnails. So I have this app here which is called Spark Post, which I think is the same thing as Adobe Express. Here is a recent example from my John and Yoko unboxing video. So I split this into 3 sections with one picture showing the discs, one picture with just me holding the box, and then the poster on the other side there. And I took pictures of 2 of the discs and added them in, but then removed the background, so I'm able to just move the little discs around in the thumbnail there. But you can add in lots of different things. There's this section where you can search for a GIF to put in, and I do use this quite a lot, searching for Beatles things to put in. Here are some examples of the Beatles ones, and these would be the same options that show up on Instagram if you're posting like an Instagram story. This one is one of my favorites. So I wanted to show my YouTube channel quickly, and then I'll get to the rest of my social media. So here, of course, is the channel. At the time of filming this, I have 4,370 subscribers. On my channel, I, of course, have my other social media linked there. And here are my recent videos. As you can see, I like to have very colorful thumbnails, and that's really been the case since I started my channel. And I recently, since I've been making Instagram Reels, I have been posting some of those to YouTube as well as YouTube Shorts. So on my channel here, if you go to the Shorts tab, you will be able to view all of those. And you can see again, I like to keep these very colorful too. I'm also quite active on this tab on my channel, which is called Posts. It used to be the Community tab, but I just make like photo posts. There's one from my birthday. Thank you very much, by the way, for all the happy birthdays I got on all my social media. There were quite a lot, so I really appreciate that. There was my birthday cake there, me and Beatles. It's the picture that's on my wall over there. I just made the background pink instead because that's my favorite color. On this tab, at times I will share news as well, like how Beatle64 just won an Emmy Award recently. And when I post a new video, I share it on this tab as well. So next, this would be my Facebook page. you can see I currently have 12,000 followers on here. So this has had quite a bit of growth ever since, I'd say, April of this year. It really took off, and that is due to one of my reels doing quite well on here. So I have it pinned so you could see. It got up to 389,000 views here on Facebook, and that is my A Day in the Life of a Beatles Fan video, which was one of my favorite videos that I have made. Actually, it was fun to make. And if you haven't seen it, it's basically me acting out Paul's part of A Day in the Life, but with a very Beatleful twist to that. So yes, my Facebook is linked to my Instagram account and vice versa, so I do share my Instagram reels on here. And sometimes I'll share some photos as well. And I have my email and some other social media in the little about section here. So before I get to my Instagram, I just wanted to really quickly show my Twitter account, although I kind of consider my Twitter account to be kind of dead because it doesn't really get much interaction. I really only still use Twitter so that I can interact with Ringo when he tweets something, but I do have this account, and now I feel like I can't get rid of it because I put my Twitter username inside Ringo's hat. If he even has the hat, I don't know, but I feel that I have to keep it now. But yes, I do have a Twitter, and that is Beatle_bugs. And then we have here my Instagram, so you could see A Beatleful Life is, of course, my username, and I am almost at 11,000 followers on here, so it's not too far behind Facebook. And as I said, it allows you to kind of link everything to one another, so I have my Facebook linked right here. I also have my little links section down here, which includes a link to my YouTube channel, the link to all my social media, and then my Beatles room tour YouTube video. The latest one of those is from last year. Then up here I have some story highlights, quite a few of them actually from things like major events, if you will, over the years. So I have the newest one being the anthology highlight, all related to Anthology 4 and everything coming out with that this fall. And there is a tab for Ringo's releases that he's done over the years. Then one for Beatles 64, one for concerts I've been to, the Got Back tour, Now and Then, Eyes of the Storm, Get Back, McCartney 3, the lyrics, the Grand Dude books, and all the way back to Egypt Station. And then I also have this one up here, my collabs and gifts highlight, starting all the way back from 2020 when Capitol Records sent me these McCartney 3 dice, which was very cool. And then features, of course, a lot of the things that the John Lennon estate has very kindly sent me. This Beatles book that I got sent a digital copy of called Fab Fools. This artwork that was made for me, etc. Beatles Advent Calendar. So if I ever have something that is gifted to me or kind of a collaboration, I will put that in this highlight. So very shortly, I will show you kind of a behind the scenes look at making one of my reels, but I wanted to just show you my Reels tab here on my account. As you can see, things are very colorful here as well. And I like to post very kind of fun, colorful, lighthearted things that fans of all ages may enjoy watching. And at the very top here, I've pinned some of my more popular Reels. So this is my Day in the Life one that I mentioned. On here, it has 287,000 views. A reel showing my Beatles jewelry, which has 177,000. And then this is my most popular reel. Let me turn the volume down because that's copyrighted music. This is my most popular reel, which is making some gelatin or jello submarines using those molds that I have. And this got almost 600,000 views on here, so I guess people really like jello. I made this last summer and I'm very glad that this reel did so well. Alright, so now I'll show you a behind the scenes of one of these reels, which would be this one right here. Alright, so this reel will kind of be a collaboration. There is a record company called Open Eyes Records that actually contacted me a few months ago asking if I could make some posts to promote this new album that's coming out that is called Dear John Collaborations, and it's basically an album of live performance recordings from the Dear John concerts, which are charity concerts that celebrate John's music and his music solo and with the Beatles, and it's performed by a lot of famous faces, including Peter Frampton, who I've seen in concert a couple times. So they have asked me to make a total of 4 posts promoting this album, and I've made 2 so far, and so this will be the 3rd. So I have my idea kind of set up here. Alright, so I wanted to start the reel with something eye-catching that will be, of course, Beatles related, that my followers will hopefully keep watching the reel before I get to the information about the album itself. So I have this little heart that I cut out of just construction paper. And I'm going to do a bunch of shots of John's face in the middle of this heart like this, just from all these various albums. I kind of compiled those together before I put in the information about the album. So also in the video, I figured that I would put in some video clips of John as well, because I want it to be more like than just still images. So I have this little setup here where I have some John things that will be in the kind of foreground of the video. So a few pins and this John trading card. And then I have this nice clip pulled up here from the Ticket to Ride promo video. And he has this nice smile here. So I thought I would include that in the center of my little paper heart. So then I'm going up here to the corner where I can change the playback speed of the video. Wow, sorry, that looks really bright. But up here you could change playback speed. You see there, I changed it to 0.5. And so I have a little more time to capture what I want to capture. And then I can put him, you'll see in the finished product, in the center of the heart like that. And I'm going to find a few different video clips where he has a nice smile like that. So I have to do this next little part as a voiceover because the sound quality on my iPad is terrible when I tried to film it on there. So I'm using this app down here called Edits by Instagram to put this particular reel together. And I'll show you the finished product on my iPad so you could see everything better. But I just wanted to show you all the little layers down here you could see of everything that was added in. Some things are kind of missing down here because I already exported and uploaded this reel, so that the files or whatever are no longer on my phone. So I have some text here saying you celebrate John's music with this new album to kind of hopefully get people to keep watching the reel to get that information on the album. And then I have the song down here, which is Dear John, which is the only self-written song from that album, and the rest is all John's work. But that is by Sepp Osley. And I have below that you could see all the little images of John in the heart. And in the final product, you'll see next I cut to what is one of my own photos of the entrance of Abbey Road Studios, because the album was mastered there. And then I start to put the information about the album, what it is and such. And I have this little video playing underneath that you will see, which is kind of showing a lot of the different artists that are featured on the album. And I actually got that from the album promo video, kind of the album trailer, if you will, on YouTube. And then I just put when it is available with a little image with the album cover that I made on my Instagram story. Yes, you could see there are a bunch of layers, and I'll go ahead and show you the final product so you can get a better idea of what I am talking about. All right, so here would be the finished product. I do have to play this on mute because it is a copyrighted song, of course, but you could see all the little hearts. I put some video clips there of John, and then I cut to the information about the album. So I put this little effect on the text there that makes it kind of shake a little bit, just to make it a little more visually interesting. Then I have my Abbey Road Studios picture in the back there, and that video of the artists playing on the screen. I used the overlay feature for that. And then I used Instagram stories to make this, to put the album cover on the screen there. And then I just put when it's available and the link to pre-order. So we'll go through that one more time. There's the hearts. And then the information on the album. And that will be available October 3rd. So that is basically a look at making a reel. Sometimes reels can be just as complex as that, or they can be very simple. For instance, this incredibly low effort reel that I did ended up getting almost 500,000 views on here. A little bit of When I'm 64 is playing in the background of this one. But yes, it is kind of mind-blowing to think I'll be around for the 100th anniversary of the Beatles. But this reel that I just showed you, and oh, by the way, here's the little cover photo I made for that, just using the same place that you make an Instagram story. I made that on there. Put some little cutouts of John there, and then the album cover. So this reel took a few hours to make actually, between filming it and editing and everything. So sometimes they take that much work and sometimes they're very simple, but I do have fun making them either way. All right, so lastly, I wanted to show you the process of making the thumbnail for this particular video that you're watching right now. So sometimes making thumbnails can be very awkward. Here is me basically posing in front of the mirror, trying to get a shot of myself for the, the thumbnail. All right, so this is the finished product for the video thumbnail here. So I just put in a bunch of different screenshots and I cropped them all, you could see. So I have some of my follower counts there. That's not to brag, it's just to show like the progress that I've made since the last time I made one of these behind the scenes. And I have two of my most popular reels over here, and the views on those as well. And then I just have myself in the middle there from the awkward little video that I showed you. I just took a screenshot. So overall, that is the thumbnail that will be for this video. And then when I upload this video, that is what, of course, you will see here, along with my other many colorful thumbnails there. All right, so that is a look at everything across all my social media, and that will conclude my behind the scenes video. All right, Beetle people, so that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching that and hopefully found it interesting or even helpful if you want to start making social media posts yourself. I do always say it's very cool that this little hobby of mine of making these videos can turn into, you know, something where I'm being sent things from the John Lennon estate and getting invited to see Beatles tributes, you know, like the Carnegie Hall one I went to and things like that. So it's very cool. And you can do it as well. I hope this video showed you that. But again, I want to say thank you very much for watching today's video as always, and all the social media that I talked about is always linked below, so you could follow me there if you want. But again, thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a beautiful day, everybody. Bye-bye.